Alrighty fellas, welcome back to yet another video on the channel. Today, this was requested, I'm going to do a series where I basically describe how to grow or how I grew and what I saw results from for each muscle group. So today's going to be the back. I already did the chest, so check that out if you haven't already. But essentially what I'm going to walk through is just basically the exercises I do, why I do them, and how to optimize every variable that comes into play with back training. As you can see, that's a picture of my back currently. Once I get leaner, it'll look crazy, but yeah, pretty decent back, I'd say. Credentials are there, so let's hop right into it. So first thing that we need to understand is the 3 planes of motion. So I'm gonna do a demonstration right here, like with the webcam, but as you can see, it's right there. So we got the transverse, frontal, and sagittal. So what this looks like in practice or in application for the back. So the transverse would be your arms spread out at 90 degrees, boom. And then the frontal plane would be like a lat pull down, boom, like this. I don't know if you guys can see this in the camera. And then a sagittal would be with your arms with neutral grip and your arms tucked in by your side. Okay, so now that we got that out of the way, those are the most basic ways that I could describe the 3 planes of motion. That's going to be very crucial to hit every part of the back effectively, because if you neglect a plane of motion, the transverse and the frontal sagittal, if you neglect any of those, you're going to have an imbalance, especially if you neglect like the transverse and do the frontal sagittal, or the other way around. If you do sagittal frontal but with no transverse, it's going to be bad. Frontal plane. This will bias the lower lats. I don't know why I put last, but lower lats, but hit the overall lat musculature effectively. So if you're short on time, you could just do like however many sets you need for sufficient stimulus of like a lat pull down, wide grip pull-ups, etc. Even a Keenan flap to bias that. My phone's blowing up. Hold on, put that over here to bias the lat musculature, specifically the lower lats, is pulling in like this. So a wide grip lat pull down. The reason why you don't want to do a close grip. So if you were to have a lat pull down bar, right, like this, and you grip like this, you're probably gonna like leverage the sagittal plane a lot because it's much easier and you can do more weight in the sagittal plane. So doing a wider grip like this, where most bars are like this and they curve at the end. So if you do a wider grip, you're gonna be in that like range like that. It's gonna be much harder to cheat them to motion. So another thing I recommend is to not go above 120 degrees of shoulder flexion. So what this looks like is not going all the way up here, because studies show, and also just the way like your body works, biomechanics, you're going to leverage your lower pec and your long head of the tricep to actually pull down. That's why you see people doing top half of that pullovers, because it works their lower chest and also works the long head of their tricep. So do not go above 120 degrees if possible. So that would be like stopping like right here. As you can see in the video, I have a machine lat pull down, I'll show you in a second, that is plate loaded, and I could stop the range of motion at exactly 120 degrees, which is so nice. So it's going to maximize the tension, basically what this quote says, and like the leverage, the motor unit recruitment, and the lats drop significantly, and the mechanical tension past this point because it's going all to the lower chest and your long head of your tricep. So here's the video. As you can see, crap quality, but stopping right there at like 120 degrees, about keeping it a wide grip. As you can see, work directly in that frontal plane. Boom, simple, easy, effective. Now sagittal plane. So again, we're going to want to restrict the motion to 120 degrees at the top, because this is just like a quote, like we basically just don't want to go up because it's going to target the same thing that I was talking about. And then we want to have executed with a touch and neutral grip, because this will allow us to work in the sagittal plane. Like if you were to do a neutral grip, you can't really work in the frontal plane because it would be like you just can't biomechanically. So you need to work in the neutral, in the sagittal plane with a neutral grip, because it's just going to allow you to hit the upper lats and bias them more effectively. Again, if you were short on time, you could just do 2 sagittal and then the transverse plane, which I'll talk about. You don't necessarily need to split them up, but it's always better to have that approach to split them up. I do personally, I hit upper 3 times a week, so I do 1 set of sagittal, 1 set of frontal, and then 2 sets of transverse. And they're mainly going to target the upper lat fibers. So another thing is that's very important that I recently implemented, shout out Fonz. Imagine driving your elbows down to your pockets, so like the hips. So instead of just pulling down like this, imagine that drive and create like that arc. Do it right now. So pause the video, do it right now. Just go like this, notice how that feels, and go like this and imagine it going into your hip. You'll literally feel your lat activate. It's a huge difference, and that will allow you to effectively hit them much more, generate more mechanical tension, more motor unit recruitment than just mindlessly pulling. So definitely tap into that. And then here's the video. As you can see, just pulling, same machine for efficiency maximizing. No need to change the machine here. No need to even warm up. Just keep doing what I'm doing. As you can see, stopping perfectly, and then just keep on executing. boom, it's that simple. Oh, I didn't write transverse for the top, but this is the transverse plane. So we want to have a flared overhand grip, so that what that looks like is like this, and we want to have our 90 degrees of shoulder reduction, so again like this, and we're just going to do this to bias the upper back. I mean, not much to say here. Again, if you were to skip out on these, your upper back would be severely underdeveloped, your traps, your just overall, and your lats would be overdeveloped as in comparison to your upper back. So basically just going like this, doing a row motion like this, anything works. T-bar row, machine row, anything that you have, even a barbell row if you keep a wide grip, but I wouldn't recommend that because it's not stable. And then another thing, another trap that many people fall into is rounding their scapula. So in the stretch, I'm going to switch over like here actually. In the stretch, if you are, let's say you're in the eccentric of the rep, and then you go like this, really trying to get a big stretch, and you pull, there's no extra benefit for the traps. They lose leverage and it just feels good. So instead of going like this to get a stretch, just literally like this. And then as soon as you feel your scapula start to round, just boom, push it back. There's no extra benefit. There's no point. I don't even know if the webcam got that on video, but hopefully it did. Here's an example. As you can see, I set the pad a little bit closer so I could dead stop to not, because I had trouble with rounding my scapula. Boom, not around 90 degrees. It doesn't have to be exactly 90 because that can be uncomfortable. I'm like 75, 90 around there. So perfect. Rear delts, simple. This is the rule of thumb. If you do Kelso shrugs, isolate them. That means you're not going to be hitting them effectively in a rowing movement because you're not retracting all the way. Redundant if you do an upper back row because you're retracting all the way, and you're going to be utilizing your rear delts. Simple. Don't need to explain anymore. If you have questions or comments, Discord, I'll talk about that later, or you can just put them in the comments. Erectors. So if you are not implementing a hinge, you're going to look like a flat Stanley basically, because your back is not going to be able to develop to its maximum genetic potential. Surely people will be genetic outliers and have a naturally dense back, but in order to get the most in thickness out of your back, you need to be doing some sort of hinge. This could be on a posterior day, on a lower day. Personally, I neglected these so long, and it sucks because my back could be a lot denser and have a lot more depth and 3D look, but I haven't done them. So a hinge example could be an SLDL, RDL, the hinge machine I'm about to show you, 45s. There's so many more, or even like a row machine where you're hinging. You'll see the MegaMass one in like one of the beginning educational videos. So if you guys want to see that, it's like in a progressive overload thumbnail. I put it in there. So here's the one I'm currently running. It's just a 45 machine that's plate loaded. As you can see, boom, just a basic hinge. About to max it out soon, but keeping form very, very controlled, very ideal for the erectors and the hamstrings. So I do this on my lower days, but if you have posterior, do that on that day. Otherwise, just program it according to your split. Okay, so lastly, progressive overload and exercise sequencing. You need to have patience, have delayed gratification, and understand that the results will come. The progressions will come to you. You do not need to force progressions. They are a result of muscle building. It's not, progressive overload is not like the thing that causes your muscles to build. They're a result of the muscles getting stronger and adapting neurologically to the movement that you're doing. So use cues if you need, like again, the driving down to the pockets, the hip pocket, that's a great cue for the lats, the sagittal plane. And then if your back is a weak point, do it first in the session. And if you have weak points within your back, so if I have weak lats as opposed to a weak upper back, I would do those first before my upper back. It just makes sense. Exercise sequencing, you're going to get the most motor recruitment. I just uploaded a video literally today, as the day I'm recording it, on the exercise sequencing. So tap into that if you have questions or if you're confused about like what exercise sequencing is and how it could benefit people. So it's really simple. Just stick to these principles, adhere to them, and your back will grow as genetically as fast as genetically possible. Because everybody's growth rate and everybody's ability to build muscle is different based on their genetics and just basically how they like carry themselves for the most of their life. Like if you're an athlete, you're gonna be able to put on more muscle because you're just genetically prone to. So that's basically the best way to hit the back. If you guys have any questions, you could ask them in the Discord, or you could tap in, just put them in the comments, and tap into the Discords in the description. Always the Longo's layer, trying to see that fruition to a great community of people. Also just got the EKKOVISION code, so as this video's live, this is the first video with an EKKOVISION code Longo, for a percentage off on supplements. I love that brand. I wanted to be partnered with them for a long time, so I'm an affiliate now. Got their code, it's so peak. And then LONGOLIFTS on Gympin for 10% off on everything. The straps, the pins, obviously, the seat belts, etc. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you in the next one.